pro.
Mm-hmm.
Hustling, trying to make ends be painted with every method, but over the every money. I'm trying to stack plenty, hoping my real niggas bitches are making it with me. Hundreds and twenties, hoping my hustle can copy your belly. Guilty and real me, but the shit that don't care about Louis or Fendi. Forces are hearing me, never offend me.
Boys, so yeah, they offend me. I'm having dreams while I go to bills. That's why I'm out just be talking the field. I follow the gangsters, so ask for the bill. Your bitch love me cause I keep it so trill. I take it that good and put all on the grill. Then I proceed on my mission for meal. Say my name 3 times and I shall appeal.
The streets and got me physically stressed, man, mentally got me like put the work physically cleaning like I was in Sicily with the mind to a spoke up, but man, I like the Kennedy. Too much your energy sitting on me cause I'm coming up technically, that's of iniquity. License up epiphany with some prostitute trick on the Tennessee moment, you feeling me?
Colder than my nigga cars and niggas be passing me plus like an offering, hustling in these streets like I be starving, stressing cause I live a life of bargain, but you won't get my dreams like an abortion. I got too many hits, I am supporting, so to the game I can deal with the fortune, smoking these haters with my brain of fortune.
Drowning some Hennessy with but the remedy to make these close and these greatest remember me. Killing for literally, then I make Jesus Christ sentence me. Heaven the hell is dependent, please making it out as an entity. Present misery, my nigga, you feeling me? Falling through anything that's a better. We do anything to cope with the misery.
Guaranteed to make you niggas remember me. All these protecting cause they bitches feeling me. Peel your way back like it's a banana. Be kill on competition, that is a strategy. But now he dead, damn, it's such a tragedy. That's the result of how I move rapidly, breaking them down, and I do it so casually. That's why I leave your bitch shaking it right.
If you knew the truth, could you handle it? My thoughts rambling, men, not women, is scandalous. Took some time to examine it, now I feel like the analyst. A lot of bull in the game, and I couldn't imagine it. Niggas is missing, is passionate, bitches don't playing with niggas, all just to keep up with the fashion shit. Now tell me it ain't accurate.
These bitches thoughts and most of them raggedy. Such a me why you want to protect me. That must be why you live your life so rationally. Weeping and crying, talking about what's happening. Feelings I hurt and hard to say negative. Bitch, you look at us, so why you get mad at me? I'm taking applications for a side bitch, so hoe gon' get at me.
Are you depending on internet from a cell phone company? Well, Spectrum is here to save you with super fast Spectrum internet. With Spectrum, you get the
No ads, no ads. But nah, I mean, you too. What up? What up, Brody? How you doing?
So you know me, I'm doing all right. What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube?
Real rap, man. Coming at y'all with another episode. We ain't did one, I don't know, maybe over a week or not, but y'all know how we do, man. We get into the topics, chop up that good shit, leave y'all some jewels and knowledge and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Today's topic, though, and this is a topic that Brody brought up. This wasn't even one of mine. This is one of his topics, for real, for real. But what'd you say, like cheating and cheaters and cheating in relationships?
Yeah, cheaters, cheating, the consequences of cheating, and the different levels to cheating.
Okay. Like I said, cause there's levels to this shit. It
Yeah,
is though.
it
It's
really
levels.
is. Levels to everything, boy. But yeah, we gonna.
But you know what? I'll say, you want to shoot first, or you want me to shoot?
Well, you know, shit, I could shoot first. So, it's different levels of cheating and everything else like that. You have the cheaters. Well, you got the misguided ones, which basically they jump into situations to survive throughout everyday life. and shit like that. And in the process, they end up getting in relationships, and then they get unhappy, and then they cheat. Then you have the manipulating cheaters, which are the ones that pretty much basically manipulate certain situations or do certain things or whatever to justify them doing, the cheating. Then you got the cheaters that it's something just like the second one, but instead what they do is they provoke you, or they start meaningless arguments and everything else, and as a result, it causes you to seek comfort or help somewhere else, which is basically cheating, but it's more of like a chessboard cheating, because they make a move that causes you to make a move, but then you end up falling into a trap to where they basically king you, basically.
Right. Okay.
Or what? And
Well, I guess I could say I've seen all three, but right.
Mm-hmm. So, and I guess the first one we're going to talk about, and then there's also consequences to cheating too. But I guess the first one we could talk about is, I guess the survival cheater. Now, it's a lot of them out here nowadays. It's a lot of people out here in situations where, they might have done something and, life just keep hitting them harder, or whatever the case may be is, and they'll turn around and they'll try to find, gullible people. I'm not going to say all of them, but people that's looking for love and everything else. And they'll literally try to manipulate them into thinking that they're Prince Charming, when in reality, all they're trying to do is pretty much have a roof over their head and everything else, And sometimes in that process, they're happy at first. They really are. But then they start to realize that, I'm a little bored of this. And then they try to basically go out there and try and find something else. Like, basically, they done sucked the life out of one thing. Now they trying to move to something else so they can be more comfortable and everything else.
Right. Okay, I get what you're saying. Cheating out of necessity to survive. I get what you're saying. You feel me?
Yeah.
They'll gaslight the individual, but saying, and like you said, at first they might be comfortable with the situation, but after a while, like you said, they what is the word? Hypergamy, right?
Yeah.
Hypergamy kicks in, which you want to upgrade or see if the grass is green on the other side, and yeah, I've seen that before. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And a lot of people, and the consequences of that is that people basically, once somebody is in a situation like that, the victim, they basically end up becoming real bitter, and they really develop trust issues when it comes down to that, because they take all that time, they invest in that person, they make sure that person's straight, they make sure this person has all the needs they want and everything else like that, and then they just basically get used. And the majority of the time, these be the people that are givers, and they can't really receive things. They don't expect to receive things, which is their kryptonite, basically. So in that process, they end up becoming a little bit colder, a little bit more cautious, and they gain a whole lot of trust issues from that and everything. So,
and then I've also seen it to where the cheater is planning to cheat, but at the same time, they keeping an eye on the person that they with. And if they see that person may be receiving like attention from someone that could be a potential threat, that'll trigger them. And at the same time, like I said, they still planning to cheat, but they also want to kind of keep a grip hold of the person that they currently with.
Yeah, I can also agree with that. They'll try to isolate that person from other people that might be kind of like keen on their plans or their intention. or they see the key signs to what that person's doing. And because of that person's manipulation and, you know, that they have over the person that most likely is the giver, they won't really see that, and they'll try to think that the person that's telling them that is someone that's just basically jealous, or they don't know what they talking about and everything else, because, you know, during that time it's pretty much is the I guess the googly eye phase, and where you
Right.
basically ignore all logic, you ignore everything and everything else, and then you just go with, you know, you just go with what that person is feeding you, or whatever the case may be is. And sometimes it pretty much is like in those situations, it kind of destroys friendships and families and bonds that you once had, because you think that you potentially have love when it's not really love. It's just somebody using you to survive.
No, real rap. Because like you said, it's the giver, but then it's also the person that's the cheater, but they probably a person that's used to being catered to or taken care of. But ultimately, yeah, they want to be taken care of. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the majority of the time, like I said, I mean, it's like a disease, really, because the moment that they start doing that, they turn somebody into something that they were never supposed to be in the first place, which is an angry, bitter person and everything else like that, because, you know, they basically, they wore their heart on their sleeve and then someone tore it off, basically. And, you know, it just causes a lot of, you know, it causes a lot of chaos in those people, in particular the givers and everything else like that, to the point to where those givers, you know, really do become heartless, and then, you know, feel like everyone is the same and everything else like that, which I don't fault a lot of those people, because, you know, like I said before in previous podcasts, that, you know, you do have some people that see these signs and ignore them, and then, you know, try to act like, you know, this, that, and third, and, you know, it's understandable why they did it, but then at the same time, it's like, well, come on now, you knew better, like, don't be surprised. But for the people that don't see it because of the googly eye phase, it's like, hey, you know, don't give up hope. You know, all people aren't like that, and, you know, just take that time, heal yourself, and everything else.
Yeah. And this can apply to both genders, male and female. Most of the time you'll see it with a female, because you know, just keeping it real 100%, you know, the guys, we could be dogs, you know what I'm saying? And I would say kinda, but ain't no kind in it, you know what I'm saying? Some dudes is really predators, and they can smell prey, they can smell their blood just like a shark, and they pounce on that prey, you know. But sometimes as well, it could also be a woman taking advantage of a man, but most of the times a dude taking advantage of a kind-hearted woman.
Mm-hmm. That is all the way necessary. That is all the way true. And, you know, but the next one that we have the I guess you might as well say, this is, yeah, the next one, you might as well say this is the one that basically causes situations to happen so they can basically, you know, benefit from it. In other words, like, for instance, you might have a female that might pick arguments with you, or you know, or basically just, you know, just argue, or you got dudes that'll argue, or they'll try to belittle you, bad mouth you, and all this other type stuff, just for them to get out the door and go mess with whoever they got on the side or something like that. Those are another type of person you have to watch out for. You got, I guess you can kind of call, they're kind of like the same people, the same one as the first one, but in this case, it's like they're always, you know, doing something. They're always distant. They're never really available to you. And they're always pretty much like leaving you from days to a week at a time, and then coming back, you know, saying they sorry and all this other type stuff, while the whole time they've been out there just pretty much doing them, cheating on you while you up at night crying and, you know, worrying and all this other type stuff.
Well, speaking from experience, I've seen it myself. Being in college, you know what I'm saying, living in Greenfield. One of my roommates, you know what I'm saying, female, but what you said is very accurate. Like a lot of the time she would have like her, I guess you could say her main squeeze, you know what I'm saying, the dude she was messing with mostly. But when she got tired of him, she would always start an argument, which would lead to her taking him back home, dropping him off, and she would let her side nigga come over.
Mm-hmm. And those be the
And
most terrible ones, to be 100% honest, because it's like, it's one thing to basically, go out and cheat, but to sit there and start an argument, which would probably in the end cause some type of trauma to where a person will feel like that, they can't do anything right, or, or they're just afraid to do anything, while you're just using that as an excuse to go cheat on them, is just, that's very life changing for some people and everything else.
And I want to say I asked her why she did it, and she kind of explained. She would be like, the main dude was pretty much like the one that really satisfied her, got her off. But besides that, as far as like having goals and priorities and having his shit together, he really didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So the side dude was the one that had the career. He was like, I think he was in the Navy or something, but he pretty much had something going for himself. So he was like the dude pretty much she could see being a provider and that she could probably marry and be well off with. But at the same time, it's kind of like she wanted her cake and she wanted to eat it too. She wanted to keep playing that game and running that game as much as she could. And there was a time where it was pretty much like just me and the side dude. We was talking, and he pretty much was like, well, I already know what she doing.
Mm.
I could tell you right now, I know what she doing. You know what I'm saying? I already know the type of game she playing. And it was crazy to me because he telling me he knows this, but at the same time, it's kind of like he was still comfortable with the situation.
Yeah. Because that'd be the crazy thing. Sometimes people, get into a situation where they feel like, you know what, I love this person. I mean, they still coming back to me and doing this, that, and the third. And, like, I don't knock nobody. If that's how you rock, that's how you rock. I mean, maybe she'll change eventually one day, but me, respectfully, I mean, I could never be in a situation like that where somebody's doing something like that to me and they're doing it in secret and act like, I don't know when I actually do. Because one thing about it and two things for sure, like, I'm out of there. I'm gonna go do me. Because
Right.
the more time, the more time, effort, and resources that I have less to spend on you is the better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't do like the things I want to do or keep the resource, or keep giving resources to somebody that's going outside of the relationship and doing them and everything else like that. Like, that's just not me. It's like, if you're gonna do all that, then go do all that. You don't have to have me. You don't have to have me to tag along. I don't, like that. I mean, and then I also feel like that in certain situations, it's like people that go out and they go cheat or they do this, that, and the third, like this lady that we talking about now. It's like your reasoning behind it is like really kind of like childish when you really think about it, because it's like no matter what you say and no matter how you feel, I mean, even if this man has a shortcoming here or a shortcoming there, it's nothing for you to sit down and have a conversation with him and just explain to him that, hey, you know what, you coming up a little short here and a little short there. And I feel like that, hey, maybe we need to, do this, that, and the third, so you can be in a better position because I see the potential in you. You know what I mean? Like, it's really no point in you going out there and, doing all that other unnecessary shit, because what's the point when you could literally just have a full blown conversation with somebody and everything else?
Man, I'm trying to tell you, just witnessing that for myself. Yeah, it was crazy. You know, the main dude was driving him crazy. He's trying his best to drive miles from where he got dropped off at his home to come back to her apartment. You know what I'm saying? Just to be up under her, because I'm guessing, even though he never said anything like the side dude, I'm guessing he pretty much figured she had another dude in the picture, but it's like they both still wanted her. Neither one of them was willing to back out. It's like they were in secret competition against each other, but at the same time, it's like they didn't realize she working to both of y'all. Like you said, you know what I'm saying, to keep your sanity, it was better for one of y'all to just bag up and say, you know what, he could have her. I could just go do my own thing and get myself together.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, that's all it really is at the end of the day. Like, if someone doesn't appreciate you, or they doing whatever, whatever it is she's doing, I mean, don't be afraid to sit there and be like, you know what, I can leave and I can have better, because you're going to get better, 1,000 times better. I mean, in situations like that, you literally getting put through a test, and the fact that you recognize and you understand the test, now it's up to you to determine if you're gonna leave or not, or how much more you're gonna keep trying to learn while you're there. But ultimately, I mean, you should never try to be in competition with somebody that's doing not only you wrong, but the other person wrong as well, and and everything else.
And oh yeah, because now that I'm thinking about it, what made that situation even worse was like the mother was in on it as well. The mother knew what was going on, and so in a way, she didn't like the main dude, and she totally liked the side dude. And the side dude was the guy she wanted to marry her daughter. And I could only imagine she was probably coaching her daughter, do that situation, or calling herself giving her daughter advice. But like, the mother knew what was going on, bro.
Mm-hmm. And now the third one, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a combination of the two. I call them emotional or chess player cheaters. And the reason why they're considered chess player cheaters is because they create situations like the first one, but they'll have situations going on like the second one, but it's in secret. But what they'll do is they'll pick fights like the first one and everything else like that to push you away. And in doing so, they already have in their mind that, okay, if this person break up with me and everything else, I can go ahead and cheat on that. I can go ahead and do me and everything else. I mean, in a way, that's still considered cheating, because you already taken steps, and you got your priorities, lined up to what you gonna do, how this person is going to react, and what the results may give you or may not give you, so you can have the end result that you want, which is you basically being single and doing you. So that way you don't look like the bad guy, and when that person leaves, you can sit here and I guess talk shit, or say this person was wrong, or he ain't shit, and da 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 da, and all this other type shit. But old time, you literally were doing it, so you wouldn't look like the bad guy when this person leaves, and then you end up popping up with somebody else that's new in such a short amount of time.
Okay. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I'm guilty of doing that before. I've definitely done that one before. Broke up with a shorty so I could entertain another situation, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have to feel guilty about necessarily cheating on that person, even though I guess you could say emotionally and communication-wise, it was kind of like cheating. But then I made sure I broke up with her, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, so I could deal with there. Once I was done doing that, we eventually got back together. But I could also say it's happened to me as well. You know what I'm saying? So they done got up on me like that too, you know what I'm saying? So, kind of double-edged sword, but I can relate to that.
we all done some type of crazy cheating type shit before. You know, like I mean, like I said, like once you sit there and you kind of like, you know, set the stages up and then watch it play out, it's like, you know, you already know what the end result is gonna be. You already know this person gonna get mad at you. They ain't gonna want to talk to you no more, and then boom. And then the next thing you can do, you can go hop in somebody's inbox, talk to them real quick, and be like, "Hey, look, I'm single now. We can fuck with each other," and then boom. So you know, but that's the third one. I call them chess player cheaters because they already know what they doing. They already just set the stage, and they just standing back watching the dominoes fall, pretty much. So, so I mean, everybody has at least done one of the two. You know, like done that before, or whatever the case may be is. But the thing that people have to understand is consequence. Now, the reason why I say people have to understand consequences is because no matter what a person may feel or whatever the case may be is, if you cheat on somebody, there is no boundary to that person reciprocating that energy to you. It's not. If you cheat on your girl or you cheat on your man and your man cheat on you back or your girl cheat on you back, you can't be mad at that. And the reason why is because it's karma. It's universal karma. You can't do something and expect for it not to come back on you in some way, shape, or form. And if somebody turns around, if you cheat on somebody and then they turn around and cheat on you back, I mean, kudos to them. Because realistically, you can't be mad because you did it too. Now, the one thing I can say that I really don't agree with is that whole, oh, well, yeah, I did this since you did that. Like, nah, go ahead and let that person know from the very moment that you find that they're cheating on you, that you know. Let them know. So that way, when you do whatever it is you're doing, they can't really be mad. They can't be mad no way, but let that be known that, yeah, you gonna get yours back in blood. I mean, let them know you gonna get yours back in blood because, nigga, at the end of the day, hey, no action can happen without a reaction. It's simple as that. Because I know for a fact, and I know I know a lot of females be like, well, nah, I'd rather just leave. Da, 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 da. I mean, that's understandable that you rather just leave, but that person's gonna get that karma back one way or another. But you know, don't feel bad if you decide, you know what, I'm gonna stay with this person for a little bit and I'm gonna cheat on them. But make sure that you leave that person afterwards, because the one thing that you know that's gonna separate y'all too is that you leave after you do what you do and everything else. Don't sit there and do what you do and then stay and then think, oh well, we both did it to each other, so now we even. Because all you really doing is basically inviting that person to play a game with you that one of y'all might not be able to handle if it happened again, because it's gonna be worse.
No, real rap, dog. Almost forgot, but I've had a situation too, man, when I was like 20, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm 20. Shorty was 18. She was a senior and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like she had a boyfriend. He would pick her up for school, drop her off at home. As soon as she get dropped off at home, she coming over to chill with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm digging her out. Her boyfriend dropping her off and waving at me. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm. And see, you know, in situations like that, I low-key do be feeling like dudes be knowing, but it's like they all right with it. But to me, I mean, I ain't, trying to put nobody out there or nothing like that. But to me, you dropping your female off and you like know that she fucking somebody else, that gives me like cuck vibes. Like, I feel like that if y'all really sat down and talked, y'all would really agree upon y'all picking up somebody and you basically watching them have sex. Like, I really do feel like it. Like, because no, bro, it ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm be comfortable enough dropping my girl off to somebody's house, a nigga house at that, and me not question that shit all the way from here to the fucking moon and back. Like, ain't no way.
I thought it was just me, man, but like the dude ain't never tried to damn talk to me, confront me. Hey, let's fight, no nothing. Like I said, drop her off, wave and everything. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy. There's no way I could trust her like that. You know what I'm saying? To the point
Mm-mm.
she wanted to leave him to be with me. And I'm like, nah, because look at how we met. Like you cheating on your boyfriend.
Exactly. Like, and that's another thing that I can't stand when it comes to certain people. Cause it's like, regardless of, the situation, why the fuck would you ever trust somebody that literally, you know, did what they did in order for y'all to be fucking around and then turn around and think that it ain't gonna happen? Like, that's, to me, that's nuts.
Right?
Like, that's just completely nuts. Cause I wouldn't trust a motherfucker like that, and that's just me personally. Cause ain't no
Real
way.
rap. You really
Literally no
telling
way.
me you want me to put all my faith in you, knowing how we met? Like you told me you had a dude, but that didn't stop from what happening. But now you all of a sudden you just want me to believe you gonna be loyal?
Mm-mm. Ain't no way. That's why I feel like in some cases, like when people be like, "Oh well, I'm all right with my side, with my me being the side dude or me being the side girl and stuff like that and everything else." I mean, I can understand y'all like doing that shit like that because it might bring a little excitement to whatever life that you may have. But at the same time, if that person and that other person break up and they come to you wanting a relationship, it's like, nigga, why the fuck would you ever decide to be like, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna be with her because we do vibe out, and I was her side piece, or he was my side piece. You know, everything just gonna work out perfectly fine. Cause nigga, no, because the first thing they gonna do is do the same thing that they ended up doing with you with somebody else.
Right.
Because now it went from 2 to 1. That person can't be satisfied with just one person. They got to have 2. And realistically, I mean, if that person was truly that type of person, they should have just, found somebody that was down to be in one of those polygamous relationships or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That's what they should have did, but instead they rather just, do things sneakily and everything else. Me personally, I couldn't do nothing like that.
Nah. If she really wanted us to be a thing, a couple or something. It's like, nah, this is just a fling until the flame run out. And I know that I'm pretty good with that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm not trying to face that karma.
Exactly. Because I mean, like I said, like I don't mind. Like I'm a type of person. I feel like that if I know I'm into something or I like a certain thing, I'm not about to sit here and do anything less. You feel me? Like if I know I like dealing with multiple females, why the fuck would I ever be in a relationship? Like, know what I mean? Like it ain't nothing for a person that like multiple females to invite a motherfucker over to sleep next to them or spend the night for like a week or 2 or something. Like, know what I mean? Why the fuck you gotta be in a full blown relationship and everything else just to turn around, just be like, you know what, I ain't happy with this. I'm gonna go out there and cheat. Like, it don't make no sense. Just stay single, bro.
Real rap.
Stay single and do you, because I promise you gonna be a whole lot happier. You ain't gotta cheat and everything else. And to the ones that think, oh yeah, I could do this and it ain't got no consequences behind it, you were sadly mistaken. Because one way or another, either that person gonna get it back in blood, or the universe gonna get it back in blood. And there ain't nothing
Real
you can
rap.
do when the universe decide to do it. Especially if that person was a good person and didn't, and wasn't doing that wrong to you. Nah, the universe don't like that. It'll punish you quick, fast, in a hurry.
Well, I said, man, I wasn't ready for that karma. So
Yeah, because I had a whole girl today tell me that she did something she wasn't supposed to do, and she got this long history with this dude or whatever that's way older than her, and when she finally did stop messing with him, her life started to get back on track and everything else like that. But then she ended up messing with another dude that was older than her that was exactly the same as him. So in that process, that turned out horribly, and it, booted her back to stage one of life, basically, which is basically, how her life was beforehand. So today, she hit me up and tell me, "Oh, I did something, da 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 da," and I'm like, "What?" And she was like, "If you guess it, I'll tell you if you're right or not." So I just flat out, so I just flat out guessed it. I was like, "So you had sex with that person that you wasn't supposed to?" After because previously she was like, the person had told, she had tried to link up with the person told her no, and I was like, and I told her that, hey, you need to take that as a sign that the universe is trying to protect you from something. And I was like, like, know what I mean, like after that, and I told her, I was like, now the universe can protect you, but the universe also not going to stop you if you force it, but you will reap the repercussions that come with it. And she swore up and down she wasn't going to do it and everything else, and then she ended up doing it anyway. And I told her straight up today, like, the fact that the universe stopped you from doing it, and then you turned around and you forced it when it tried to stop you the first time, you better get you a crash test dummy helmet or something, because whatever happened to you, you brought it on yourself. And she was like, "Well, no, because I talked to God, da 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 da." And I told her straight up, I mean, look, God and the universe is the same person. The fact that he stopped you the first time from doing it, and then you turn around and decide to do it, you literally just spit in that man's face, and now you about to reap the repercussions that come with it. And she was just in shock because she ain't fully understand that. I was like, think about it. If you hit him up and you asked him to link with you, and he told you no the first time, and everything is going correct in your life and everything else at that point in time, why would you go back and force that situation to happen when it wasn't supposed to happen in the first place? Now, there's no telling what could come of that. Like, know what I mean? Like, you could wake up the next day sick and coughing and everything else. The next thing you know, you go to the doctor, they tell you, hey, you got AIDS now. You can't be mad because the universe tried to stop you from having sex with him. And now the universe gonna punish you for it. Like, know what I mean? Sometimes you have to take things like that into consideration.
Sound like she got a infatuation with a certain type.
Mm-hmm. She like older guys, basically. And the thing is, it's like, I understand you got a preference and everything else, but realistically, you messing with that man after, after all the crazy stuff y'all done been through and all this other type stuff and everything else, is like, hey man, like, you need to stop. But you can't tell nobody nothing. And I told her straight up, the fact that that you not paying, you just brushing what I'm saying off and everything else, and I'm here telling you exactly what's happening. I'm not telling you this for no reason. Like, the universe is using me as a vessel to tell you what's going to happen, and you need to prepare, because when it happens, you don't need to act surprised. But she brushed it off and everything else. And I told her, like, hey man, like, don't let your ego and ignorance basically, set you up for failure, because whatever's coming your way, it's gonna come and it's gonna hit you hard. Because you can't ask for better in life and then turn around and somewhat get it, or be in the processes of getting everything, and then try to and just be like, nah, I'm gonna go over here real quick where I ain't supposed to go at, because the first thing life gonna do is be like, oh, okay, you want to spit in my face? All right, bet, I got something for you, and then boom, it just do some crazy stuff to you.
Where I know exactly what you mean. I done had that happen before. With certain people, I had to learn to just go ahead and tell them the opposite of what I wanted to say. Play that reverse psychology on them. So, kind of like what you were saying, you told her the right thing. Well, I like, look, I'm going to tell you the right thing to do, but I already know you want to do the wrong thing. So go ahead and do the wrong thing. Go ahead. Ain't nothing going to happen. You're going to be all right. Everything going to work itself out. Yep, that shit sounds so good. Go ahead and do it.
And then they hit you up, be like, oh my God, my car blew up and I ain't got no way to get to work now. I'm getting fired. And then you just sitting there looking like, see what happens when you do things you ain't supposed to do? Crazy shit happen. People
oh my God, I was pregnant. I lost the baby.
Or, oh my God, my kids got taken away from me. Well, I mean, who can you really blame in a situation like that? Things happen for a reason. You do crazy things, or you ask for different things, and you spit in the face of the creator. Hey, the creator don't like that. I mean, I understand people might feel like, he don't punish or whatever, he show love. Yes, that may be true. But to disrespect him is a whole nother different thing. Like, know what I mean? I done seen people sit there and be like, man, God ain't this, or the universe ain't that, and all this other type stuff. And I done seen somebody that walk outside and get struck by lightning just to prove a point. You feel me? Like, come on now. You think that man got struck out of lightning for no reason? Just a 1 in 10 billion chance this man happened to be that one chance he got struck by lightning. No, it's because he said something he had no business saying. And in order for the universe to let him know, they had to make him a believer.
Real.
You can't do stuff like that. Because they'll sure teach you a lesson quick, fast, in a hurry.
What?
People sit there and be like, oh, he ain't real. I ain't got to worry about this. And next thing you know, they have a whole stroke or a seizure or something like that. When earlier that day they were perfectly healthy and fine, and boom, they just have a stroke out of nowhere. Like, come on now. You think that happens for no reason? No.
Changing your life forever. Real talk.
You can't do wrong.
Like you said, be in a car accident, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do wrong to people. You can't do things to kids or babies, and you can't spit in the universe. You can't spit in the universe face and feel like ain't nothing gonna happen. Because I'm telling you, you're sadly mistaken. Because something terrible is going to happen to you. Something that's gonna teach you a lesson in one way or another. And the crazy thing is like, I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, if that man told you, nah, he don't want to link with you, this, that, and the third, and all of a sudden he linked with you, it got to be something up. Bro probably goddamn had a whole STD or some shit like that. Now he about to give it to your ass and you don't even know it. Now you about to be sitting here, your coochie gonna be foaming at the mouth, at the lips and shit like that. All because you wanted to be, what is it? I guess, well, you might as well say you were being lustful. Like, you might as well say, because it's like, my whole thing is like with situations like that, I understand people might not want to deal with new people and everything else like that, but the whole thing is like this: if you know what you had was bad the first time, and you know it wasn't something that you're looking for, don't be afraid to sit there and just go try something new, regardless of what what society has made it out to believe and everything else like that. Like if something ain't your MO or whatever the case may be is, you don't like what this person doing to you, and y'all broke up because of, don't go back to that person, because it's just showing that you just settling or whatever because you scared of what new things could come your way. You scared of change, basically. It's like, nah, bro, don't be scared of change.
Real rap, bro.
Because one thing about it, I mean, in a situation like that, I'm gonna embrace change, no matter what somebody say. Because ain't nothing wrong with something new. You feel me? Especially in situations like that. I mean, it's a part of life. You're supposed to deal with people, come across certain people, then realize that hey, this ain't me, and then move on to somebody else. I mean, and just to have that mental mindset that, oh, I don't want to have more sex partners or whatever the case may be is. It's like, you're human. You really think that you about to be with that? I mean, there's nothing wrong with thinking that, but you really think that you are going to not increase your volume of sex partners if something doesn't work out with one person? Like, come on now. I mean, especially like it really don't make no sense.
This is life. This ain't Disney Channel.
Exactly. That's why I can't stand when people be like, "Oh, you're going to lower your value if you cheat back on that man and everything." Says who? Says motherfucking who? If that man cheat on you and you want to get it back by getting yours, by all means, go ahead. If he wasn't lower, shit. What make you? My thing is like this. If it doesn't lower his value, what make you think he'll lower yours? It won't.
I get what you're saying. Certain females do think like that.
Mm-hmm. It'd be like, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna add more body. So, who cares? It's your sex life. The one thing I realize is that one thing about it, I'm not letting nobody shame me in my sex life. Whatever I do is what I do. What make me, climax ain't got to make nobody else climax. I mean, it's mine. I mean, come on now. It ain't like they taking mine off of me and using it themselves. It's mine. Talking about some like body counts and all that other unnecessary stuff. Ain't no real human being care about no stuff like that. If anything, why would you ever want? I mean, I understand why men might want it, but after a while, it's like, come on now. Like a man might want somebody that's not really all that experienced, so they can pretty much turn them out or whatever the case may be. But
man, I don't know. When you younger, yeah, you do think like that, but when you get older, man. I do want somebody with some experience to know what the fuck they do.
Exactly. Like, I mean, who goes through life and like, come on now, somebody that's not experienced and everything else, you gotta teach them everything. Now, I don't knock nobody for wanting to teach somebody something, but come on, bro. Like,
not everything. Nah.
Yeah, not everything, but but still. And then the majority of dudes that's out here now, the dudes that's out here now, them niggas, they don't really know what they doing. They really don't. So it's like, once they do, back shots and, missionary and everything else, like, I'm like, yeah, I done taught her everything. And it's like, exactly, you ain't teaching her everything. Then they be surprised when. Then they be surprised when somebody come along and they start doing her like the mama and baby boy and wonder why she left them. over there thinking you doing something. Like, no, you ain't doing that. You just get her back shots. That's it. And you think, oh, because she moaned and it got slightly wet on the bed, you were doing something. Crazy as I don't know what. But then what was his daddy name? What was it? Melvin. Then when Melvin when the Melvin come along and do everything you did with just his finger, oh, you mad. She a thought. She for the street. She this, she that. And they be like, well, what was you doing to her? I was giving her back shot. That's it. Yeah. Man, I'm not surprised why she left you.
Right.
I'm not surprised
Right.
at the least.
Anybody can do that, bro. Come on, now.
Mm-hmm. Did you snatch her soul? The first time you say that, they be like, "Huh, what's that?" You didn't already fail. As soon as I say something like that, and you say that, it's like, ain't no
Right.
way.
You gotta take a whole soul, right? But see,
Mm-hmm.
cause now that you said that, you know, made me think of this, right? I used to work with a shorty. She I guess you could call her like a relationship whore. She get out of a relationship, she got to get back into a relationship so she could do her thing, get her rocks off. But I guess her last boyfriend, whatever the situation was, you know what I'm saying, drove her crazy to the point where she decided she wanted to be abstinent, and she like went without sex for a long time, a couple years, you feel me? But when she finally did fold and give in to her urge, it's like the dude that she selected to you know what I'm saying, give herself to pretty much reminded her, I guess, of the last dude she was with. And I remember her saying, like, consciously, she knew like she wanted a new type, but at the same time, she couldn't help but be attracted to the dude because that was her type, you know what I'm saying? But she did go ahead, go through it, and you know, she ended up with something she couldn't get rid of, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was crazy, man. It's like, damn, you finally like gave yourself to somebody, and now you got to live with the rest of your life, man. You know what I'm saying? Where you could have just adapted and changed like the type of dude you was attracted to, or at the same time, like you didn't even have to abstain yourself from sex. You could have did you and just accepted the fact that you was grown, and it was all right for you to get your rocks off. You know what I'm saying? But that shit was crazy.
Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that because it's like, you choose to do that because of a situation is just like crazy because not only are you avoiding learning a lesson, you're thinking because, you avoiding learning a lesson, you're also basically putting it out there that, okay, if I just do this, then this won't happen again. And it's like you just avoiding all accountability to the red flags that you chose to ignore the first time and everything else. And it's like, and as a result, you didn't learn your lesson. You went for the same thing that you're prone to deal with. And then boom, now you got something that happened to you that, that can't be reversed or fixed. And, you just up the creek without a paddle, basically.
Up the creek without a paddle, dog.
And that's another thing that I can't, that I can't stress enough. Please don't be afraid to learn your lesson, bro. Like, stop being oblivious. Stop being like, ignorant to the facts and everything else like that. Stop ignoring things that stick out. If you dealing with a dude or you dealing with a female and she tell you, oh, my guy friend is calling me and they over here having hour-long conversations, and somehow in some mystical way she leave her phone open and you see a text message that say, ooh, I can't wait to taste you again. Don't ignore that shit. Leave that motherfucker. Leave that motherfucker and realize, hey, this is the type of thing that I got to look out for, and this is the type of thing that I have to be cautious of. Don't sit there and be like, oh, all females is the same and everything else like that. And then, you just don't be in a relationship or whatever for decades, and then when you finally do get in a relationship, you end up dealing with the same person, the same type of person again. Like you just didn't learn anything. Same thing with the females and everything else. Like if you dealing with a dude and he turn around and he going to link up with certain females and all this other type stuff, and he come home smelling like coochie and stuff like that, don't ignore that or whatever the case may be. Is like, leave that man.
Real rap.
Like, it's just crazy. Like people just be so scared of new things and stuff like that. Like, and I blame society, I blame social media for it and everything else. Because they just, I don't know. To me, I feel like because they can't use television no more, they can't really program people no more. So now they put out all these little minute-long sketches or skits of people getting played by certain individuals during certain times and stuff like that and everything else, and have people just basically, follow that same trend. And it's like, nah, because I think I said like the other day on one of those videos or something like that, where the dude was like, he came into the crib and the girlfriend that he was dealing with had with a girl that he was dealing with, baby daddy came home from prison and he had his game hooked up to the TV. And,
Oh yeah, I seen that one.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here, I'm like, bro, I mean, I understand this is a skit and I understand, it's for entertainment purposes and everything else, but come on, man. Like, y'all constantly doing these skits and making it seem like people don't know what they doing when it comes down to dating or understanding understand the people that they dealing with is kind of crazy, because it's like it's too much of this. Like, everybody ain't that simple minded. You feel me? Like, but the way that they portray it and push it, they basically make people, basically end up being that type of person, basically. And it's like, nah, bro, I can't be down with nothing like that for real. Because it's like, you ain't doing nothing but hurting the community for clicks and views and stuff like that, not realizing that you're literally programming thousands and millions of people by literally pushing the same type of content in front of them 24/7. And it's just crazy, because it's like, bro, ain't no, like, at what point are we going to sit here and just start, just being like, well, hey, look, I know, if I don't know people, then I need to go learn people then. Like, come on now. Like, what person would be in a situation, a woman tell him, yeah, I got a baby dad that's locked up, we not together because he locked up, and then you continue to stay in that relationship and then be surprised when he come home. You knew when he would come home because she told you that she was gonna be with him. Like, what, babe? Like, come on now. I don't think no person in their right mind would be in a situation like that, especially with raising somebody else's child, when they know, oh, when he get out, oh, me and her not gonna be together no more, and she's deliberately hinted at this. Like, come on now. There's no way.
Yeah, gotta take it at face value.
Exactly. It is what it is. Like, it ain't nothing else. But these be the same dudes that feel like, oh, because I take care of her and I pay bills, or I do this and I do that, oh, she gonna stay with me, or she gonna do this, she gonna do that. And it's like, bro, one thing you have to understand, money can't buy you love, bro. It can't buy you permanent love. It's gonna give you temporary love. It'll never give you permanent love. And that's what's wrong with, society now, because they want everything to be like the 1950s. They want everything to be like, oh, well, the man is the breadwinner and the women supposed to be at home. A man should want a traditional woman and everything else. Like, bro, for what? You want a traditional woman who sit at home and don't do nothing but cook, clean, and take care of kids while you out here making all the money, doing all the work and everything else, knowing that at any given time, savings, money, or whatever the case may be, can literally come to a complete end or a complete halt. And people don't understand that. Like, you could be a breadwinner right now, all your money in the bank, guess what? That bank could go bankrupt. That bank could literally go under federal investigation, and you will literally lose all your money and won't have access to it. Then you want to act surprised when your so-called wife or whoever you're dealing with leave you. And it's like, well, how can you really be surprised? You literally bought that love with the money and the so-called traditional living style of the past, thinking it could work now. Like, no.
Real rap.
Like that's just it's crazy and beyond me. I mean, at the end of the day, like just because you buy it doesn't mean it's good for you. Because realistically, you put somebody in a position that shows you that they weren't that they didn't work for. Why would you ever put somebody in a position that they haven't worked for, or all they did was basically give you sex or a little bit of attention? They didn't prove to you that they were wifey material. They didn't prove to you that they were going to stick by your side, and they didn't prove to you that I'm here to pour back into you the same way you gonna pour back into me. Like that's just crazy.
That's real rap though, brother. I will say this though, to kind of echo on you brought up the subject of television programming versus social media programming.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will say about the television programming is there was a whole lot more relationships versus social media programming. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like more everybody being for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Because back then with the television programming, yeah, you had a couple programmers out there that had people thinking a certain type of way. Mostly, the whole, YT versus, black people thing and everything else. Like TV programmed them people to be like that. The program, because I remember I seen like an old ad on Twitter where they showed that had came on TV during the 50s, and they literally had ads saying, yeah, make sure you stay away from the blacks. They carry diseases and they do this and they do that. And it's like you constantly having that running 24/7 on TV is going to program a whole generation of people to not like a certain demographic of people because of their skin color and what you think that they have because of what the TV told you. And it's like, nah. But then also back then, I can say there were other programmings out there that would try to break that type of thing. And those like TV companies couldn't be bought or, basically sold into promoting things that they weren't supposed to promote. Nowadays on social media, they have once you sign in with those people or do a contract or whatever the case may be, is you have to promote whatever it is they tell you to promote, and you can't ask or tweak it or anything else. You got to do what their contract says, or you violate it and you're gonna owe them money or worse.
Real rap.
Like that's the one thing that I really do hate, because realistically you got a whole social media network of people literally pushing a gender war, pushing that men should have this and women should bow down to them that. Then you got women. Then you got the other side where women should have all this and men should just cater to them without them doing nothing and everything else and all this unrealistic stuff. And it's like, bro, nah, like that ain't how life works. A relationship or any kind or a friendship of any kind or whatever cannot work without reciprocation. Point blank. You can't sit here and like, I don't know. You can't sit here and expect to have something and then not put no work in or not give it back or whatever the case may be is. Like the biggest hustle that I have seen on social media is people basically saying, you should never want a 50-50 relationship. You should want this or you should want that, da, da, da. And it's like, bro, if you in a real committed relationship, you're going to do 50-50 regardless, whether you know it or not. And the reason why I say that is if you a stay-at-home mom or whatever the case may be is, your man do come home after work or whatever the case may be is, and he too tired to fix his work clothes or whatever, wash his work clothes, you basically washing his work clothes is considered 50-50 because you picking up where he couldn't, where he left off at or he couldn't do. Like, you know what I mean? The same way, like if you came home and you was like, man, I got a leak in my tire and all this other type stuff. If your man go outside right now and change your tire or go and get you a brand new tire, that's him literally picking up from where you left off. That he's reciprocating, you know, the work and everything else that's in the relationship back to you. You picking up where that person, you know, falls short at. And sometimes, I mean, hey, well, you know, you end up with your boyfriend or somebody or whatever the case may be is he paid the rent. And then you turn around and just be like, well, you know what, I can pay this this $50 internet bill. Let me pay that. Boom. You picking up where that man left off, you picking up the slack. You picking up where that man left off at. It's considered 50-50. No matter what way you cut it, you doing something that's considered 50-50. If it ain't nothing but you fixing that man a plate or you handing that man a towel or something like that when he getting out the shower, you're literally reciprocating back to him where he was lacking it in some way, shape, and form. And people don't understand that. Like literally, the social media is programming y'all to basically not deal with people or not being in a relationship with people. And y'all and people keep literally falling for it. Like, oh yeah, I don't want to do 50-50. And then they'll end up not doing 50-50, which will cause them being single. And it's like, bro, like, how do y'all not understand that or see that? Like, there's no way that y'all got programmed this much to the point to where you're that blind to the facts and everything else. Like, it's 50-50, you know, regardless in every relationship. If your woman ain't good with numbers, guess what? And you good with numbers, you picking up her slack. If you know, like I mean, if you making the money and she go out grocery shopping with the money, guess what? That's 50-50 because she's literally doing that. Like, if you want to have sex with him tonight and he end up making dinner reservation. Yeah, dinner reservation. If he do dinner reservations and shit like that and everything else, he basically picked up where you left off. Y'all reciprocated in order to get something done and everything else. Like, people just don't understand that. Like, bro, like no matter what way you put it, it is still 50-50. If it's down to cooking, cleaning, paying bills, romantic and romantic gestures or anything, it's going to, in a real relationship, 50-50 is a common thing that you're going to do because you're picking up where the other person is lacking at. That's why it's considered being his yin to his yang. Because even though his yin might have a little bit of yang, you're that little bit of yang. Just like you're the yin that has that little bit of yang, he's that little bit of yang. Like, it don't, it's balanced. But social media will literally have you basically saying you don't want this and you don't want that, and then just think, oh, well, yeah, I'm gonna get a relationship. And it's like, no, bro, you're not gonna get a relationship, because not a real one anyway, because a relationship that has no reciprocation in it is not a relationship that can exist or happen successfully anyway.
No, real rap. It's a different time and age. So yeah, 50-50 is the norm.
Exactly.
If you doing 100%, then that means your partner is slacking on something.
Yeah, if you're doing 100% or something and your partner not doing nothing, then that's a one-sided relationship. Point blank, period. You telling me that you can come home from work, the house not clean, the kids not fed, and goddamn ain't no food on the table or nothing like that, and she just sitting there like, well, I've dealt with the kids all day. How do you deal with the kids all day if the kids not even fed, they got wet diapers on? And what did you do? You're in a one-sided relationship. Period. Same thing with a man. If you home all day taking care of kids, washing, cleaning, taking care of taking care of the checkbook or whatever the case may be. Is a young man come home, he ain't paying the bills. Guess what? You're in a one-sided relationship. He's not paying the bills. He's just sitting there drinking and feeding himself and not worried about y'all. You are in a one-sided relationship. That's not 50-50. That's you doing 100% and him not doing nothing. And people have to understand that. Like, you in a normal functioning relationship, reciprocation is 50-50, no matter what way you cut it. And if somebody is doing something 100% while the other person absolutely does nothing, and I mean nothing, you are in a one-sided relationship and you need to leave. Because regardless, even if you come up and tell that person, they're not going to change because they feel like, oh, they're entitled. They don't have to do nothing.
You know, and this is for the fellas. Women will say that they want to be stay-at-home mothers, but I've seen it in today's time, and it didn't last because deep down inside, they want to be active and they want to be able to get out the house and be around other people, interact in other environments just as well. You know what I'm saying? So they may say, yeah, they want to be stay-at-home moms, but they get tired of that real quick.
Mm-hmm. And it's completely understandable. It's just like if it was a stay-at-home dad. I mean, I know men don't ask for a lot, but if he's sitting at home and he got all the kids, he got because let's keep it all the way 100. Being a stay-at-home parent in any way, shape, or form, it don't take long to get the kids straight, and it don't take long to clean the house and do whatever it is you need to do and everything else. You can literally get that done in an hour. That means that you're going to literally be doing absolutely nothing for like 7 hours or until your significant other come home. So it's like you're going to get bored. There's no way. That's why it bugs me when people be like, you don't know how hard it is to do this and do that. You mean you don't know how hard it is to finish everything within a short amount of time and not have nothing else to do, right? Like, because that's all it really is. Anybody can clean a whole house or clean the bathroom. Well, if the bathroom is dirty, and God forbid if things ain't dirty, like, nah, I mean, it ain't gonna take you long to do all those things. You got one kid in one house. The kid is sleeping. You can literally clean the house and everything else, or whatever the case may be. You can put on Coca-Cola and they'll be quiet. Come on now. You really gonna sit here and try and play that card? I don't care what you say. You put on Coca-Cola and put them in a bouncy chair, it's over. You can literally get everything done in 15 minutes. Now, only thing you got to do is put them down for a nap or feed them and everything else. Come on now. It's a reason why shows like that exist. It's to help people that's at home that are single parent. Well, that's parents at home and stuff like that so they can get shit done. And people will sit there and swear up and down, oh, that's not how that is. Da, 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 da. Yes, it is. It's called children's programming for a reason. Like, know what I mean? Like, people literally just make up excuses just to basically justify whatever way they feel when deep down they're just bored. You don't want to be at home. You want to be out in the world socializing and everything else.
And getting back to the whole cheating subject, fellas, I'm gonna put y'all on the game, right? See, this is how it works. If you choose to cheat on your woman, you can't cheat on her with somebody that's less appealing than her and expect to keep her, or still have her respect, right? You know what I'm saying? If your girl's like a 6 or a 7 and you cheating on her with 3, 4s, and 5s, of course she gonna be upset. Of course she gonna talk shit about you. Of course you gonna be the worst thing since old bread and spoiled lettuce. Of course, what you expect. But see, if she a 6 or a 7 and you cheat on her with like an 8, and she knows she ain't an 8, and she look at that girl and be like, dang, she look better than me, or her ass fatter than mine, or because women be wondering, they really do, like, what did he
Mm-hmm.
see in her? Why he do that? So when she can literally look at the female you cheated on her with and know that female visually looks better than she does, she ain't gonna be asking that dumb question. She gonna understand, damn, that she look better than me. And so now I gotta up my game to try to keep him. You know what I'm saying? If it was somebody that, like I said, wasn't as appealing, or even if they was like on the same level, that she gonna try to play that game with you called get back. You know what I'm saying? Someone
Mm-hmm.
get it back in blood, someone do it, and you won't even know they doing it. But like I said, if you're gonna cheat, make sure that the girl you cheating on your shorty with look better than her.
Right? Or at least have something going on more than your shorty.
That
Or,
too. Because that would
mm-hmm.
be real important too. You know what I'm saying? Why did he cheat on me? Well, she got money and she could do this, that, and the third. And when I be fussing and stuff, she don't be bitching and complaining. She real affectionate and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said,
Mm-hmm.
they gonna ask questions. They detectives, bro. You know what I mean? They gonna find shit out. So
Yep, they
make it
really
make
is.
sense.
Yeah, you got to make it make sense. Because one thing about it, he is not lying about females questioning why the fuck you cheat on them with somebody else. Because they want to know what that person got or what the. Prime example, I know a female that, her boyfriend cheated on her, or, her little yeah, or whatever the case you want to call it. She was trying to figure out what is, everything. She ended up finding out the girl work schedule, where she stayed at, what kind of car she drive, what apartment she stayed in. She found out all that, and she's sitting there and looking at it like, oh, that's why he did it, and stuff like that. And it's like, I mean, like, females literally do really be looking at situations like that, trying to figure out why you cheated on them or what went wrong and everything else. So, and if they find out, goddamn, you basically lowered yourself, or you didn't go up to, messing with something that was a 10, they're gonna cook you. They're gonna cook the hell out you. And they're gonna hit you where it hurt, because they're gonna do something that they ain't never done with you before, or do something out they means to prove that, they're gonna get, they get that. Like, know what I mean?
Real rap.
So you better make sure if you do it, you better make sure you do it with somebody that got something going for themselves, and somebody that look better. Because that's the first thing that's gonna come to their mind. Like, well, damn, you could have had that. You could have had messed with somebody that was better looking than me or something. That'd be the main thing to come out their mouth.
Yep.
Every time. Well, she could have been more pretty or something. She ugly.
Yep.
She could at least have a fatter ass. She ain't got no ass, no titties, and she goddamn look like a muskrat. Like, know what I mean? Like, they gonna cook you. They gonna cook the living shit out you.
Real rap, bro.
And then do some real crazy stuff that's gonna have you crying and stuff.
Because women can't respect when a man is being in his feminine energy, or being what they call a bitch ass nigga, bitch ass dude. They can't respect that. But one thing they can respect is masculinity, and whatever they perceive in their mind as masculinity. You know what I'm saying? And her mind, if she found out you cheated on her, but it was with a girl that looked better than her, in her mind, it's like she upset, but at the same time, it's kind of like she your sister, she proud of you. Like, damn, my nigga can fuck bad bitches.
Yeah. And then sometimes, I mean, low key, that can create an environment where the female actually, step her game up. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not gonna say it's gonna always be beneficial to y'all and everything else like that, but sometimes it does push a female to be better at a lot of things. It might be dressing wise, it might be working out and having a body, it might be I guess conversation wise or whatever the case may be is, but that she gonna turn that pain into motivation. And sometimes, well, I'm not even gonna say sometimes, because most of the time when that does happen, they end up leaving you because now they done got better, or they done got better looking, or more emotionally intelligent, and now they're gonna find somebody else that can, match that. And considering that you no longer match that, you are no longer on the table to be dealing with them.
Real rap. Real rap. So yeah, you do got to be honest with yourself too, and how you feel about that female. Because you know what I'm saying, you could lose her.
You really could. It's a high chance you could. Lose her quick, fast, a heartbeat.
Could lose her.
She'll lose her and never get her back. The whole time she living her best life. And that's another thing too. Yeah, you gotta humble yourself too. I mean, I understand, everybody can't be what's a person? Everybody can't be Chris Brown or Denzel Washington. So you need to humble yourself. You gotta humble yourself, bro. You can't be out here goddamn looking like Where's Waldo if you never found him and he was in the damn cookie factory eating nothing but cookies. Like, nah, I mean, like, nah, you gotta humble yourself. So, some people feel like, just because they are a certain gender that they entitled and stuff like that, they ain't got to be humble. And it's like, nah, you got to humble yourself. It's a lot of, pickle Ricks out there. A lot of pickle Ricks out there that just feel like, oh, well, I'm a pickle. I can do whatever I want type of shit. Like, I mean, hey, everybody ain't Pickle Rick, boy. Like, I mean, like, you just a pickle. Just don't feel like, oh, just because you can, oh, you did this, you the man of the year, because truth be told, a lot of females really do be settling with a lot of dudes because they don't really have a lot of choices.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let you know that, but there's a lot of females out there settling. Because some of y'all dudes be fucking like 21 and look like you about 41, bald spot and all, with the receding hairline and everything.
Real rap.
Can't get up like you used to because you can't get up no more because you over here popping burps like they Skittles and everything. So it's like, hey, sometimes you gotta humble yourself too.
And it's a lot more dudes that's on the DL too, and they know that.
Oh yeah. Of course, it's a lot of y'all like, and that's another thing too that kind of like grinds my gears. Like a lot of y'all be feeling yourselves to the point where y'all ain't humble yourselves, but y'all don't get no biddies. And then what you end up doing is you end up messing with the damn the Transformers and everything else. So it's like, now you feel like, oh, you done cracked you a Transformer or whatever the case may be, is you feel like you the man. And it's like, nah, you not. You really not. You just hump Denzel down the street or whatever the case may be.
Rap.
So you just humped on Damien. Damien with the wig. So no hate to the people out there. I'm just saying, it'd be a lot of people out there feeling like, oh, that they they that person, and truth be told, they really not. Their life is in shambles. They poor, they living from house to house and everything else, but they still feel like they the man, and be like, no, you humble yourself.
Real rap.
Or you'll have somebody out there that's homosexual, homosexual, and feel like they the man, and they be doing this, that, and the third, when they just end up basically going home at night still lonely and still sad and shit like that and everything else. But sometimes you got to humble yourself and realize that, hey, you not that person. You could be that person, but you're not that person right now, because you let your ego get in front of you, or basically hype you up to thinking you something when you're not.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think that's all I got for him. You got some more you want to talk about?
I think this is it for him for the day. Can't give him everything.
Real rap. But this one right here, this was very solid. You can't learn nothing from this. Any other previous podcast we done did, I don't know what you're sipping on, what you're smoking on, but it ain't the right thing. I hope you ain't sniffing.
Mm-hmm.
Real rap. We put y'all on the game and real talk with this one right here, though.
Mm-hmm. The next one we're gonna probably I don't know. We'll probably, you know what? I think the next one we're gonna do. I think the next one we should do is teach people the game. We think we teach these people how to be players and pimps. I think it's time that we try to put the game out there so we can bring back a generation of actual men and actual, and maybe some women. We could probably get a girl up here or something like that, and actually have, try to mold these people so they don't be so soft and crybabies and stuff like that.
Real rap. Don't set yourself up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to prove something to yourself, or trying to have an ego, trying to have pride. Like bro said, sometimes you got to humble yourself and actually see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they be too stubborn and set themselves up for failure and crash out.
Mm-hmm. Super crash out. You can't do that.
I agree. Next one, we're going to put y'all on to the game, man. Pimp and player mode. Yeah. Till next time, YouTube, everybody be blessed. We out there thing.
Yep. Blessings, y'all.